Welcome guys, in this video I will show you 50 ClashMini tips that will change the way you play the game. We will start from the basic ones to all the way up to the advanced tips, so make sure to stick till end. Tip number 1. You can choose which upgrade you want by simply tapping on the mini once and then choose the upgrade. Tip number 2. You can quickly swap places between two minis by dragging one mini towards the other. Tip number 3. If you want to sell a mini, it is not necessary to drag it to the pot, you can just drag it until it converts to elixir. Tip number 4. Your shop rotation doesn't change after every round. Tip number 5. If you have enough stars for maximum star reset and you have a few minis whose star upgrade is not finished, but you either don't play or don't use the certain upgrade, then in both cases you should not focusing on that upgrade is better, because if you have a 2-star mini while one is 3-star, the odds of getting the 3-star mini in next reroll is higher. Tip number 6. If you place giant skeleton on mirror tile, then both of them will have a bomb drop, so watch the world exploding. Tip number 7. You can cancel a miner with a bowler, if it is one tile apart, so placing miner at the back is safer choice. Number 8. A fisherman can cancel all Clash abilities except rush ability of Valkyrie and Archer and 3rd star upgrade of Witch. Tip number 9. All minis hit speed is also increased if you upgrade them, except for Witch, while Healing Ranger is the only mini whose HP is not increased after upgrading. Tip number 10. If you got a 2 exact same minis and you don't want to upgrade the mini in next round, then sell the mini once and then place the mini again. Tip number 11. There are many RNG abilities in the game, but have you ever wondered what are the chance of getting those ability triggered? A YouTuber named Shu Ming has found the probabilities of every ability. The chance of P.E.K.K.A critical hit is 20%, the chance of a mini P.E.K.K.A critical hit is 25%, while the chance of Barbarian dealing +1 damage is 40% and the chances of a Dart Goblin stun shot is 25%. Tip number 12. If you place a prince with the 3rd star upgrade, the ponies will have full HP. Tip number 13. If a mini has started to cast his super, then you can't stop it with Dissipate ability. Tip number 14. If you know your enemy is gonna play his prince on the heal tile, then placing a backline will make him waste his Clash ability, as you will regain to full health and will be sent at the back. Tip number 15. If you play giant skeleton with Archer Queen, then getting extra stun duration is better than extra damage, because the Queen can do way more damage than that in 1.5 seconds. Tip number 16. If Swordsman attacks you Shield Maiden with his super and dies, this will charge her level 10 abilities. Tip number 17. If you boost minis like Dart Goblin with Lumberjack, their speed can ramp up easily. Tip number 18. If you send a tank in the shell tile and also miner, the tank will reach earlier and tank for miner while miner clears other stuff. Tip number 19. In Rumbles, if you win 2 rounds and sell all minis in round 3, then you are wasting 4 elixir, because the elixir cap is 20 and you will have 24 elixir in round number 4, rather selling minis only worth 14 elixir is better. Tip number 20. Bowling a Archer is too dangerous for 2 damage, because this will allow her to redirect towards the backline instead of your tank used as protection. Tip number 21. If you don't have a fisherman with the 2nd star upgrade, then placing him in the tiles at the leftmost and rightmost row is waste of area. Tip number 22. You can place a 3rd star ice wizard at the back to stun the miner, and hope your backlines redirect to miner by the time. Tip number 23. If you manage to get a heal on mirrored units, then you can have an extra mini on board. Tip number 24. This is an obvious one which I forgot to mention earlier. The tip is the skeleton of which can activate any kind of boast ability, so be careful. Tip number 25. This is a really important one. If you stun a Shield Maiden while her shield is activated, she can start attacking and moving, and also, the shield will work, so be careful. Tip number 26. You should make a deck which synergizes very well with other units' elixir cost. This is the reason why player opt to have 2 or 3 elixir deck, so they don't have spare elixir. If you have a 4 cost mini, you need to have 2 cost mini. Tip number 27. Magic Archer are annoying, but if you know how to play against them, it is a piece of cake. Placing frontlines on either half of the map and range on other will make Magic Archer not damage backlines. Tip number 28. At this point, most of you think a bowler can't cancel a prince, but my friends, it can, if it is 4 tiles apart. Tip number 29. If you think mirror tiles are random, you were wrong. They always place on left, but if the left is covered, it is towards right. Tip number 30. If a mini has a KO ability and you kill the mirror one with Clash, it will not use the ability, rather disappear. Tip number 31. If a mini has under 15-ish HP, bowler can one-shot the mirror units. Tip number 32. Now this tip is not related to battle but is a healthy one. Play tournaments. Just hop to Discord and join tournaments like Enchanted Cup, Itsu Cup, CMC Cup, and O&M Cup. These will take your skill to next level and you will notice how the meta is different from ladder. Tip number 33. If you are pushing then not upgrading your hero further level 5 until level 10 is better, because you can only be matched against level 1 to 9 heroes. Tip number 34. If two minis are at equal distance, the one on the left will be targeted by the mini, so for you it will look like the mini on your right will be targeted by your enemy, and is totally opposite for abilities targeting furthest units. Tip number 35. If you play a Musk on center the chance of getting knockback interrupted is low. Tip number 36. If you mirror your Barbarian King and somehow both manage to get supers, the whole team will have +2 damage. Tip number 37. In raids if you scroll down below the abilities, you can see the units he is most likely gonna play. Tip number 38. The upgrade order in raids is same as the star order of certain units. Tip number 39. If you joined a raid and it is about to end, not playing the raid will not put you in cooldown. Tip number 40. If a dart goblin is ramped up and shoots a projectile, but the targeted unit dies, then the shot will travel towards next closest enemy and is surely gonna stun if you have 3rd star upgraded. This is a bug and might get patched in near future. Tip number 41. If you ramp up a healing ranger with too much rage and she has 3rd star upgrade, if the first rage effect isn't out yet she will not do anything with her super. Tip number 42. A healing ranger with wider area can heal the units behind her. Tip number 43. If one unit is at the back while other in front your unit will target where he is facing. Tip number 44. Mini P.E.K.K.A can dissipate units faster they charge their super if not targeted by any other unit making him win most 1v1 against minis with super. Tip number 45. If by any means Supercell shows up a mini which can have more HP than 99, that mini will be able to survive a level 10 monk, so if there is a mini in future let me know. Tip number 46. The special tile seems random but they are not, namely the heal tile and seashell. The seashell can only spawn at the back making the odds of desired location 20% while the heal tile can spawn only on front 2 rows making the randomness subtracted to half. Tip number 47. Are you annoyed of wave masters? Like you can't kill them but if you have a wizard with spicy at least he can't heal with it which is a big win for 2 elixir. Tip number 48. This is a tip outside battle but very helpful. If you are below legendary you can only play 3 maps and can check on Trophy Mountain. Tip number 49. If there is a tie-in tiebreaker, the person who gets first blood wins, so try to confirm first kill. Tip number 50. If you place a 3rd star ice wizard on mirror and incinerate it with dart goblin ramping up will be a piece of cake like this user show. Anyways that's all I got for this video. This video took a really long time to make. Many wonderful people also me which I will show at end. If you found this helpful please consider subscribing. The thinking part took like 3 days and editing took more than 5 days. Anyways there is a big shout out to these people. Link to their social media account will be in description. Meet you in the next one.